Hey, welcome to Tipple Theory. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Ramos Gin Fizz.
Tipple theory is the exploration of history and practice of creating alcohol around the world. On this show, we'll share some of the history of how your favorite beverages came to be, as well as techniques professional bartenders use to elevate your poison of choice into an experience worth savoring.
Hello, and welcome to Tipple Theory with your VSOP hosts. My name is Sean, and this
It's September.
Yay! Please visit tippletheory.com today to find other episodes and ways that you can support us, like joining us on Patreon or Discord. So today's topic is the Ramos Gin Fizz, legendary cocktail from Louisiana. But before we get into it, September, what you been up to?
I went to Nerdtacular 2026 in the Utah.
The Utah.
The Utah. And I had a fabulous time with, I don't know, hundreds of nerds from the Frog Pants community. And they're an exceptional community of accepting, weird, wonderful, inclusive people. Um, I'm not being as eloquent in the re-record, but it's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, met some new people, new to me. Got to see some friends I haven't seen in a very long time. Some I hadn't seen in person since 2017,
Wow.
which is cool. Got to meet in person. I don't know, folks that know me from stuff because I am outgoing. I'm in the chat a lot. I stream, so it's that parasocial thing, which makes me really happy that people recognized, they see my name tag and go, "Oh, you're 9 at 12." And I also had my big icebreaker of being able to give people stuff. So Sean and I, like we do for these Frog Pants events, you should come to one someday.
Thirsty.
Develop signature cocktails. We started doing that for the Southeast meetups that I went to. Okay. And sorry, brain weasels. I want to say I helped with. That feels weird. So anyway, I made lip balms. I made 2 kinds. I made 100 different lip balms. No, 100 different. 2 different, but 100 individual lip balms. I gave away 99. I did keep one. I did a green tea and honey flavor, and then I did a lychee coconut. And the lychee coconut got me thinking, oh, I should tap Sean and we should make a cocktail. And we spent a few days in the Discord coming up with stuff. And then I went and got ingredients, and I had ordered lychee syrup online, and I invented a cocktail. And I closed the note. The NT26 cocktail was the lychee colada in parens dirty soda. So 2 ounces of coconut rum, 2/3 of an ounce of gin, a third of an ounce of lychee syrup, about 4 ounces of pineapple juice, a few splashes of lime, good splashes, and then shake over ice, pour. That fits in a rock glass pretty much perfectly. But if you want to use a taller glass, like a Collins glass or whatever, you can then add some club soda or seltzer, which gives it that Utah flair. Salt Lake has a very popular thing called a dirty soda. And I wanted to pay some tribute to that. After a lot of people tried both, most preferred it straight up without the soda. It was really good. It came out balanced. I appreciate Sean definitely had the expert's touch, and they're that's gonna be really sweet. And the gin took that edge off. And then after experimenting, I added the lime juice, and it did come out really nicely balanced. Something about shaking that together, probably the sugar and the ice, gave it a nice foamy top, which even so it had no coconut milk or no cream in it, but it did have a touch of a creamy texture to it. I discovered I feel like such an expert. So I don't know. I was getting down to the bottle of the bottom of the bottle of rum.
Mhm.
And I knew Travis was so busy. TV's Travis had so many panels, and he was kind of back up to Bobby doing stage direction or stage management, and like he was not in our own room. He was my roommate. Like for when I had a bunch of people over and made cocktails. So it's like, man, I have to make sure I can make Travis one. And I'm looking at the bottle of rum. I'm like, I think I had enough for one. And I quit pouring. Okay, everybody, we got to go back. I don't have enough to make anymore. Like, just for one, it's for later. And we all went on our way. And then the last night after the event was officially over, well, not that night because karaoke and it was stupid in the morning when I went to 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed. But like the last night, I was staying there and Travis was leaving later in the afternoon when we were just kind of trying to have some quiet time and decompress. I'm like, Travis, do you want the cocktail? He's like, oh, yeah. It's okay. Let me know when. And he had a little nap. And then I went back to the room and I went to pour his cocktail and I measured just, I want to be consistent here. It was to the drop the exact amount of rum in the bottle of that bottle. So apparently I can eyeball things super accurately now.
Years of experience.
A freaking bottle, which is wild because like when I experimented at home, I used Malibu.
Mhm.
Which,
Did you do Captain Morgan like Parrot Bay or something there?
no, I got Bacardi coconut,
Oh, right.
and that was much better, much better. Although my son's happy, he likes Malibu. I gave him the rest of the experiment bottle. Yeah, so big success. As a matter of fact, Travis mentioned in a chat on another show the other day, like, don't forget to mention the cocktail during Tipple Theory, and he liked it. He says very well balanced, and he's a cocktail guy. So
Nice.
mm-hmm.
I like that.
So yay, success on the lip balms, which gave me a way to introduce myself to everybody. Here, want a lip balm? Here, want a lip balm? Here, want a lip balm? So I did for like the first 2 days. I gave them all away, and by the second day they were gone. I got many thank yous later, day after day in the event, as it saved people's lips. It worked really well. I apparently got the proportions down perfectly. I forgot to use it myself because why would I fucking do that? And I ended up with like a chapped lip. On Sunday, I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. So I started using the hell out of mine. It healed in a day. So
Wow.
sweet. Okay, so I am now the keeper of the traveling Malort.
Oh no. Did you win or lose?
Well, I'm good with Malort. I like the occasional like, yeah, I'll do a shot with you that Brian Coford and I usually do on game nights. So I had this much of a bottle
Oh wow.
that got left in my room. It's a good 2/3, which will be for drinking. However, behind me on a shelf. So
see one.
this is a full unopened bottle of Malort that was given to Shave Maddox, Shane, in Vegas last year. Coford shows up and brings a whole bunch of Malort, and he's from that area, so it's like it's just part of his personality, and to dare everyone. And this bottle never got opened, and Shane was tasked with taking it, and then he brought it to this event. I guess Bobby Ann suggested him just bring it next year, so he brought it this year. Shows up with it to my room for cocktail time, but Coford brought another full bottle, which we opened, and so this bottle ended up unopened. And now it is the traveling Malort. So Shane signed it with his handle and the year and the location, like Las Vegas 2025. I signed it with SLC 2026, and I will take it to whatever event is next that I go to and pass it on. And we're the siblinghood of the traveling Malort. for which I will keep this nifty thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
need
yeah.
to find these bottle
Shipping bubble
packs
pack.
because I was bringing home a bunch of liquids this time. My suitcase I thought was gonna be lighter on the way back because I took 3 copies of my giant heavy book. No, it was heavier. It actually got the heavy tag on the way back.
Oh,
I
wow.
brought home 2 board games that I won, a book that I bought, 2 like a bottle and a 3/4 of Malort, and it just a bunch of swag. So, yeah. Last drinky story from Nerdtacular was I noticed so Salt Lake City, there's something about bees, and I haven't gotten around to doing the research, but there's some
Oh.
kind of big bee connection. It was everywhere. There were like souvenir shops had honey. There were graphics of beehives on the sidewalks, walking down the sidewalk.
Oh.
It was like Honey Town or something, and I don't think they were referring to wife collecting, but I was surprised I didn't see bee's knees. Like of
I'll look on the
all the
menu.
drinking establishments I went into that had cocktails, and I mean it was a lot. It was like 3 or 4. Like one had a bee's knees, and I don't know. That just surprised me because it's not something you can just order if it's not on a cocktail menu. Because you got to have the honey simple
Yeah, yeah.
on hand, or your bartender is going to just do something awful if they attempt it. I just expected to see it everywhere. After walking to a few pubs and restaurants and seeing beehives all over the sidewalk, I expected bee's knees. Had I known I wasn't going to run into that, I would have gone with the other cocktail that Sean and I talked about making based on the other lip balm with the green tea and honey
Mm.
that I'm going to do here at home and steep some green tea with the gin and then make a green tea bee's knees. I'll report that back on that. I'm going to start that steeping today, so I'll make that this weekend.
Did you say you're steeping the tea into the gin?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've had really good results steeping vodka with different things, peppercorns, ginger, basil, tea works amazingly quick and well. And so I expect I can just do like I have, and I'll put some gin in a mason jar with a couple of tea bags, and it'll be like ready by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it before I left, but then I didn't want to like leave and forget about it, and then it would be kind of too yucky when oversteeped when I got back. So, what about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, man, nothing
Caught
that
my
crazy.
cord. Sorry.
Oh, no. Technical difficulties. Um, see, since last recording, gosh, I'm mostly been keeping my head down, doing a lot of audio editing at work. We hit the time of year where we're doing a lot of heavy dialogue recording for our fall release, but we're also working on a new game. So I basically got pulled into an office and was like, "Look, can you help?" It's like, "Yeah, of course." Like, no, like we either need to hire a contractor or this is like we'll clear the rest of your schedule. We need you. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Ooh.
And I don't know how many people out there do audio editing, but I'm manually de-essing lines, which I I I don't question. I'm doing what I'm told. And it's I think it's partly specific. People that we recorded have like just their plosives and their consonants, even their Fs are just strangely wet, and the kind of stuff that you can't really take a de-esser and just have it group over a line because it's gonna miss some of that. So we're just being very very exact and particular. And it's been a lot of my time. I did have a voiceover gig over last weekend. It was great. I'm glad I'm getting more work, and it was 9,300 words. So it was like 30 pages long of a pretty tight font. And I was like, all right, it's my turnaround is normally like 48 hours. So I was trying to stick to that, and I got it done. And then I had to do like 12 retakes of like just like lines. And then they said, like, the company sent me that email like, hey, some retakes on some of these lines. Then at the end, like, the person who was editing my dialogue sent a little note. They're like, hey, I just want to say I probably would have blown my voice out by line 5. Good job keeping it consistent. And I was like, hell yeah. All right.
Right on.
little victories. No.
Yeah.
So no traveling and making cocktails for groups, but that's okay. DragonCon, I'll do that. So, we have gathered here today to talk about the Ramos Gin Fizz. And you did more research than me. And I think I didn't read one of your links. I tried to make notes and then kind of split it up. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about what came before, which was just a Gin Fizz, which anyone that listened to the episode before this about Collins drinks,
Yeah.
it's seemingly the same damn thing. So, in roughly 1750, the Gin Fizz is purportedly created, and initially it was just gin and lemon juice, so it wasn't actually quite the Gin Fizz at that point. But Admiral Nelson in the British Navy created mixed gin and lemon for his sailors to help them not to get scurvy, but also want to drink said lemon juice. The sailors liked it so much that they started kind of trying to find ways to drink it whenever they could, including
pretending they were sick.
pretending to be sick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just...
It's funny, like, how did we not come across this? I have 2 questions. When that came up in the Collins episode as the same origin, right? As the scurvy preventative. And you as a bartender, like, all those years, if somebody asks for Tom Collins or they ask for Gin Fizz, how do you... more shaking? Like, I
feel like I could say certainly that no one's asked me for a Gin Fizz.
Okay.
And that was, I started
I feel like it kind of went into obscurity, right? Like, because the Ramos Gin Fizz is a different thing,
right,
entirely. And so Gin Fizz just faded into obscurity because it was already another drink.
It was kind of usurped by the Collins. So the Collins, we already talked about in the last episode. So 1750 supposedly is when when gin and lemon came about. And we'll say within probably, since soldiers were faking ill to drink it, I'm going to say within 2 years, they were adding their own stuff like sugar and soda water, which would make it a Gin Fizz. But then the Tom Collins comes out in 1860, 20 years before the Ramos Gin Fizz gets invented. So it could have been that there was just enough time that, okay, well, now we're calling it a Tom Collins. Cool. I thought I had another point there. But so they're weirdly the same. And so I started kind of like researching, like, all right, why? What's the difference between a Tom Collins and a Gin Fizz? And depending on where you look, some sites will say, well, egg white. But that's not generally, if you look up, like, from a cocktail website, like, what is a Gin Fizz? They usually won't include egg white, which I should probably get into the actual cocktail for the Ramos Gin Fizz. But so most of the time, Gin Fizzes are just those 4 ingredients: gin, lemon, sugar, soda. But then a few of them would say, well, a Gin Fizz originally wouldn't get served with ice. It would be in a slightly shorter glass with just your ingredients shaken, served up. Well, shaken, but then topped with soda. And then the Tom Collins would be in a Collins glass, so a taller glass with ice, and then served that way. If you go onto the Sazerac or New Orleans bar website, which would be kind of closer to the origination of the Ramos Gin Fizz, they say it's served in a hurricane glass. So glassware seems to be a part of it, which can affect, like, just even if it's the same ratio of ingredients in cocktails, if you change just the amount and so it fits in a different glass, you can get drinks that are called different names. which you do see every once in a while, at least if you're reading a lot of cocktail books. So I'm gonna say that's kind of what it comes down to, and that's why we have something that's basically the same thing but not ice versus not ice, different glass, and then just the replacement of one versus the other. So the Ramos Gin Fizz and what makes that unique. So people can still say Tom Collins, but if they say a Ramos Gin Fizz, it's much more unique from a regular Gin Fizz. So it was invented by Henry C. Ramos. I love this origin story, by the way, because it's very, very, very well documented. You're not going to
Yes.
find different versions everywhere. So he invented it at a hotel bar he was working at, the Myers Table de Hotel International. I probably butchered that. Back in 1888. Oh, I said 1880 before. Sorry, 1888. And it the recipe is slightly different than the one that I know, or at least in practice behind the bar. So this is 3 dashes lemon juice, 2 dashes lime juice, 3 dashes orange flower water, 1¼ ounce dry gin, a 1/4 ounce of the white of an egg, a tablespoon of powdered sugar, and 3 ounces of milk. And we can talk about how that changed over time if you want.
Yeah, where does that one
What?
come from?
That one was from it was a New Orleans website. Like it was
Okay.
neworleans.com /
Because I know there's a version in the book you cite often. I know I was looking about the shake time, which we're going to have to talk about.
Yes.
That cream
Right.
is part of why I don't see. I think I saw one with milk. But I mean, that's always a choice with any drinks that have dairy in them. Like, some have milk, some have cream. I use half and half when I make an Alexander.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, and the difference between using cream and half, like that can change it up. So gosh, I can scroll down. Neworleans.com / drink cocktails Ramos Gin Fizz.
Okay.
So that's where I found that recipe, which I felt like would be closer to origin. But just knowing enough about it, like that's certainly changed.
Yeah.
Since then, I think I've seen about the ratios of lemon and lime juice seem to stay the same. It's actually I knew orange flower water, for anyone that's not familiar, comes in a bottle about the size of a bitters bottle that you might find, like 3.5 4 ounces. So the recipe that I knew is just a capful of orange flower water, which is probably more like 5 dashes, but different.
Yeah, I'm seeing heavy cream in most of them, including Sazerac House.
Okay.
Or Sazerac House, which is close to the origins.
Right. Also New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing you do have to do
I'm just trying to find the one that is copyrighted. You can't copyright recipes, but there's a thing. So I'm looking for if he wrote it down himself. But regardless,
but you do have to
you
shake
probably do your bars always have flower water?
Fancier bars do. A lot of bars aren't going to go out of their way to just go get orange flower water. And usually it's because you're making that drink, or at least something with I feel like with egg whites. I don't know that I've seen it in a. You could put it in a non-egg white drink, but I don't think I've seen it much outside of that. Sometimes when bartenders are experimenting, like, oh, this is behind the bar. Let's see what this does. Because we do like to do that. Like, this is just gin and orange flower water. Like, oh God.
And you kind of have to be known for it or have it listed. I don't go to any cocktail bar and expect you're going to be able to order a Ramos Gin Fizz because of the time intensity, along with the odd, not odd, but the non-normal ingredients.
Yeah. And so, like, the recipes I was finding, the original recipe was you have to shake it for 15 minutes. Other places I look say 2 minutes, 10 minutes. where I worked, it was 1 minute.
Wow.
Um,
I mean, if it does the foaming, it's done.
well, it's the foaming, and supposedly it's cooking the egg white, like in citrus, essentially,
Right.
with the citrus and the sugar, and that's so
yours were unsafe, is what you're telling
exactly. Living on the edge.
me.
I mean, most eggs that you get, the egg whites are pasteurized, so you're not going like commercially. They are, so you're not putting yourself at too much risk anyway.
Yeah, I would definitely not use
I wouldn't
the
use farm
eggs I
fresh.
get from my friend for.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, you could, but I would shake it
A lot.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I would be in that I'm gonna at least do 3 minutes, like even if my arms hurt, I don't care.
Oh, my arms! Get help!
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I would do them for brunch a lot, and that's like, as you mentioned, like, so the place I worked at, we would do them if people asked. That wasn't on the menu. It was in the first couple of years I worked there, and then we took it off because people were getting kind of sick of having to do a bunch. Yeah, and they taste great. It's a delicious cocktail. To me, it tastes like an alcohol orange creamsicle. But when you down them, it takes a lot of time to work to make, and it's a little insulting that, like, great, I have to make more now.
Yeah, apparently later Ramos moved to the Imperial Cabinet Saloon, and he had to hire a team of shaker boys to keep up. Like, it went crazy. I think this was actually right after the whole Huey Long popularizing it situation with his publicity, the stunts when he was running for office against Roosevelt. Yeah, no, New Deal.
Wasn't that Roosevelt? He was running against someone.
Yeah, Franklin Delano. Yes.
Yeah.
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 So now there are conflicting stories about the Shaker Boys, because there was this cutesy story that was made up about him hiring a whole bunch of little kids, and they would just line up and shake it and take it down the line, and like that's not actually true. It was hiring a bunch of black folks for almost nothing to do that and keep up with the demand. Yeah. Oh, we have a duplicate note because you put notes in my notes.
Oh, whoops.
But
I'm sorry.
Ramos did sell the rights to the
Right.
drink to the Roosevelt Hotel. I don't know how that works. The rights to a drink, because you cannot copyright a recipe. But it's got his name on it, so it must be in that realm of copyright or trademark or something that he was able to make them the official carrier of the drink. But it's not like, I don't think anyone's held to, like, you can't call it a Ramos Gin Fizz, I don't think anyone's doing that. But the neat story was that in 1935, Louisiana Senator Huey Long brought a bartender from the Roosevelt Hotel with him to New York City, to New York. And he did this publicity stunt, and he had the bartender make the Ramos Gin Fizz for everyone, which really popularized the drink. And the story was like, I'm having someone make, what was it? This great drink while I make this great strong drink while I make my strong points, and FDR's points are weak. Like,
right.
So he called it his gift to New York, taking it from New Orleans to New York and further popularizing the drink. He lost. He got killed on the Senate floor, so assassinated, Huey Long. Just by the way.
Was it a long shot? Ooh, too soon.
You're fired. Oh, I did it too. So anyway,
wow.
Lots of fun stuff around this drink.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, it's funny because it's so labor intensive. So, which just makes it, like, when it's something is popular and labor intensive behind the bar, like, it just kind of gives it extra notoriety.
Shaking it that long has to draw a crowd, right?
Mhm.
So like then it's like, oh shit. Like I'd be tempted to like go in the back and like shake it there so that I'm not for like because I would want to balance. You said you did it in 1 minute, and I wouldn't really notice that in a bar, especially
Mhm.
a cocktail bar. But if somebody went for like 3 or 5, I'd be like, "What's that?" And then the pour on this, the foam climbs up over the top of the glass,
Mhm.
so you're gonna generate interest. It is a very showy drink. Um, good job, Huey Long. That was a nifty little tactic.
So what I think is also kind of weird, like because when we imagine shaking something for 5 minutes, and
In your
you're hearing that
hands.
noise, your hands freeze. But in the at least in the recipe that I was looking at, it doesn't say shake with ice, and
You
and
kind of
it
have
doesn't say
to
to
though.
serve it with ice. Like remember we were talking about like the differences between like a gin fizz and a Collins, and I didn't see it. I should have looked, and to my discredit, I should have looked for more recipes for the original. But like when I would make them, we would do a dry shake and then what we would call a wet shake. A dry shake is a shake without ice. So you put in your ingredients and you just you shake it just to kind of mix it with the white a bit, and then you throw the ice in there to smash it up even more, froth and chill.
I
Uh,
did see an article with a bartender who makes them a lot talking about in an interview that most people do a wet shake, but he does a dry shake
mhm.
and how that, cuts the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I would do half and half. I'd do 30 seconds wet, dry, and then 30 seconds wet.
That's really
Uh,
counterintuitive to me. I mean,
right?
I'm relatively new to all the shaking stuff, right? Only the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years or something. And um the agitation of the ice in my brain would be helping with the foaming situation and the friction, although it's being melted by alcohol, so not so much friction with the cooking. But yeah, I guess if the sugar's in there with the dry shake, that's providing some of that
Mhm.
agitation as it dissolves because it's first the crystals have to break up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Science.
right. And I think when we did it, we wouldn't add the cream was the you add it into the wet shake. Partly because I think because it would froth so much, and the fats in the cream are gonna do your extra
Found directions that say
smooshing.
like the dry shake, 30 to 60 seconds to emulsify the egg white and cream. The wet shake,
Oh,
shake vigorously for a grueling 2 to 3 minutes until the tin is frosty and the ice is mostly melted.
yeah, you don't definitely want to do it until it's frosty. But that you can do in a minute.
Yeah,
But it's labor intensive. It's delicious though. It's so good.
and
Uh,
pretty.
yeah,
Gotta like pretty.
yeah,
Did I
good
just
foam.
okay. So, what else? How's it changed? I don't think we need to. The Shaker Boys I already talked about.
Mhm.
Selling the rights already came up. I told the Huey Long story. We have a little duplication in our notes. Sorry, folks. Um, and so how would we put a twist on it? You may already have put a twist on it. For me, I saw a version of a golden fizz using the yolk that I am super intrigued by because that's going to give an entirely different texture and color and mouthfeel, and it'll add a
Right.
flavor where white will not.
Yeah. No, I saw your note on that, and I was like, "What?" So like a custard?
I mean,
Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be vastly different, I think,
it would go
in the two.
creamier. You see, oh yeah, I'm thinking it would lean. It would lean the texture closer to a White Russian, even with the small
Mm,
amount of cream in this recipe. To use the yolk would make it richer, and I'm really keen on the
yeah.
color idea. But
Yeah, it was weird. I was thinking color too, but I was thinking of using a gin that's butterfly pea, butter infused. So the purple gins that you find out there, like
Yeah, yeah,
Ampress.
yeah.
I think using that would just be fun because then you get a purple foam.
Ooh. I have
That
to
would be
get
neat.
some of that. My sister, her daughter has a source that somebody works at a tea shop who can get me that herb, the
Mm.
the pea blossoms.
Butterfly pea
Yeah, I think
blossom.
so.
Oh, that's
It's the
butterfly
blossom.
pea blossom. Right.
So she's been
That's
making her own
nice.
because they really overcharge for those gins.
Yeah, they do.
But you can just throw these pea flowers in your gin, and it will do the magic.
Mm.
Have you had or created any variations on your own? Oh, another one, rose water. I don't like creamsicles, and I feel like
Oh.
the orange water would make this like meh for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I love flowery drinks, and pairing with the gin like that, I feel like rose water or violet. You get violet or violet
Mm-hmm.
uh, ad might be really something I would enjoy better.
I think that would be interesting. That would definitely change it because I know like my brain relies on that kind of that orange.
And a
Yes.
lot of people hate flowery stuff,
Um,
and a lot of people
well,
I can see where the creamy might be weird with it, but just
but
it's a me thing.
even if you do that and then change the garnish from an orange wedge to a flower,
A
um,
candied violet. Ooh.
yeah, that would really it would change what the expectation that your brain has, and it would change what you
We need
smell.
to be writing this down. We're inventing a drink again.
just type it at the end of the notes. Rose flower water
I've
and
already promised out a comp copy of our book we haven't released yet.
candied violet gin fizz. There we go. Should just put
Yeah,
idea.
violet, rose. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So
A
what
month
else?
from now, I'll be like, which script was that in? I think that's
Do
the
you
twist
have
I'm
a
thinking of.
variation?
I don't have one that I've made.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking initially was just the butterfly pea blossom gins.
Yeah. What about NA
And
for
well,
our
I see your note,
teetotaling friends? Oh, geez.
and I
And how did I
agree.
wait? Because I
Okay.
didn't mention in this before we do the NA thing,
Mm-hmm.
in the stuff I didn't know. So Ramos, the inventor of this drink, didn't
Mm-hmm.
drink.
Okay, I thought I saw that, and then I couldn't find it.
Yeah. So like he was a good boy in Prohibition, and they threw out all their liquor, and um, yeah, he switched into he sold the rights to the drink, they gave it all the liquor, he didn't drink, and then he went into a painting business with his brother or something.
Right. Huh.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Fun facts. I put. Oh, it was one of the myths around Huey Long that he was so keen on the gin fizz that he really wanted to build a highway from Baton Rouge to New Orleans
Oh my god.
so he could get to the Sazerac bar even faster and have a gin fizz.
Great.
I'm
Well, it's a
like,
good thing we didn't elect him, and
that
that's a
sounds like
lot
a
of
senator.
pork.
Yeah.
Sorry, me juggling the notes, but I've got the notes like this big down here so they don't reflect all over my glasses.
But yeah, so for NA,
Uh-huh.
I think if you want to say your no, I agree with it. I would
Okay.
mostly I would just do it with an
So I
NA
thought
gin.
about it and I wrote a note and it contradicts itself, but that's fine.
Oh,
Because I was like, this one I think would do best with an NA gin.
yeah.
Rather than subbing a Juniper Simple, which has kind of become my go-to with all our gin drinks for an NA.
Mhm.
Because those NAs, they're expensive. I mean, I guess if it's all you're drinking, fine. And there are some decent gins about that. I still don't like the texture. So I was like, I think because of the shaking and all the stuff going on, just using any gin might be best. But I thought about it. And if you are using a simple instead, because then you have your juniper and you can add other herbs if you want for your ginny gin, like I do, I eliminate the sugar in the recipe because it's got like a tablespoon of powdered sugar, which is a lot of sugar. So if you're putting in like a couple ounces of simple, you don't want more sugar than that in there. So you could probably get away with 2 ounces of the simple and give enough liquid for the shake to still happen, and not throw it off too much. And an added benefit is it would shorten the shaking time because you're not dissolving this powdered sugar. I'm still not entirely confident before we put something like this in a book. I'll have to try this experiment and report back on whether it does the chemistry we want to get the egg white to do the foam.
It does. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Okay.
When the last time I was making it in a bar, we would use simple syrup instead of powdered sugar because it goes much quicker.
Right. But also without actual alcohol?
Like, oh, sorry, not without the alcohol.
Does that contribute?
Does it contribute like to the cooking
of
it?
The chemistry.
You see, I thought we were relaying on the acids.
I mean, probably not. It's probably the citrus that cooks. All right. Yeah. My culinary brain goes on. Doing like ceviche. The citrus is cooking the egg, and that's probably what's making it solidify and foam.
Yeah.
That's the most likely chemistry involved. But I'll definitely test this before publishing it anywhere.
Test it a lot.
Yeah. Sure.
Shifty eyes.
Why not?
Oh, no, this needs gin.
Well, hey, folks, if you test it, let us know. Make a video. What the hell? Join my Discord. You can find it places. And you can find it at 912.com. And then, or at tipple-theory.com, do we have our Discord, or my Discord there? Because that's where I have a Tipple Theory channel.
Be. I think we have a link on there.
Yeah, like, come join. We got a little channel where we do talk about drinking and share your experiences and your recipes. We'd love to pull an audio bit, tell us your opinions and your experiments and how it's going. You can also email to tippletheory@gmail.com. And don't forget, please like, follow, and review us on the listening platform of your choice. The next episode, we're going to be talking about sours. And this is technically a sour, but sours in general next time.
We're working up to it. Please check out patreon.com/Tipple Theory today, where you can become a supporter and get access to video of our cocktail of the week being made and other behind-the-scenes goodies. Thank you to Scott Gesser for writing our theme music that you're listening to right now. You can find him and links to his music at scottgesser.weebly.com. Nice.